Hello students, this is day 3 of the chapter Magnetism, and specific objective for today's class is what are the various characteristics of a magnet. In previous class we have discussed these two topics, magnetic and non-magnetic substances and poles of a magnet. Today we will discuss characteristics of a magnet. Topic number 6.4. It is given on page number 61 on your books. There are 4 characteristics of a magnet. First one is, when we place two magnets close to each other, they interact. That is, they either attract or repel each other due to magnetic force between them. What is magnetic force? Magnetic force is the force exerted by a magnet on any other magnet or magnetic substance. We have already discussed what are magnetic substances. The substances that are attracted by a magnet, right? This magnetic force can be either attraction or repulsion. If we bring opposite poles of two different magnets close to each other, they will attract each other. On the other hand, if we bring similar poles or like poles of two different magnets close to each other, they will repel each other. Let's understand this with the help of one activity. Attraction and repulsion between magnets. Take a pair of bar magnets and 3 round-shaped pencils. Place the longer side of one magnet over the pencils. After that, bring one end of other magnet near the one end of magnet placed over the rolling pencils. Make sure that the two magnets do not touch each other. What do you observe? The magnet rolls away as the like poles of the magnets are brought close to each other. And the magnet rolls towards the other magnet as the opposite poles are brought close to each other. What do we conclude from this activity? We conclude that similar poles or like poles repel each other, whereas opposite poles or unlike poles attract each other. Students, let's read the topic for better understanding. Characteristics of a magnet. The basic characteristics of magnets are known to every child who has come across a fridge magnet. Magnets snap to object made out of iron. The word snap means stick. Magnets snap or stick to objects made out of iron, and they either snap to each other or repel. The feeling of the attraction or repulsion is easy to describe and detect, but what is it that creates this behavior? Some of the characteristics of magnets are, first one is two magnets interact. As we have discussed, if you take two magnets and try to push them together, they will either attract or repel. There is a magnetic force. We have studied what is magnetic force. The force of attraction or repulsion exerted by a magnet, right? There is a magnetic force between the magnets that can even be felt by your hand. The reason for this behavior is that each magnet has a north and a south pole. When a north pole of one magnet is subjected to a north pole of another magnet, the two magnets will naturally repel each other, right? We learn from this that magnets have characteristics of opposites that attract and likes that repel, or we can say opposite poles of two magnets attract each other and like poles or similar poles of two magnets repel each other. Second characteristic is magnets have memory. This is true. This is very interesting. They can store information. For example, debit cards and credit cards have magnetic strip that holds the information of our bank details, right? In this picture shown here, this black strip, this is magnetic strip, right? It is provided in the debit cards and credit cards because it stores the information of our bank details. How can we say that magnets have memory? How can they store information? Let us perform an activity to understand this. Take an LCD calculator and type any number on it. Place magnet near right side of LCD screen and erase the number. Now, place same magnet near the LCD screen and you will observe that the same number reappears. It means that magnets have memory. They can store information, right? Let's read the topic for better understanding. Magnets have memory. You can make a simple test with an LCD calculator to see how magnets have memory. This activity can be performed only by using LCD calculator because in LCD calculator there is liquid metal which gets attracted towards magnet. And this will not happen in digital calculator, right? Take a permanent magnet and place it next to the screen of your calculator. You should first have entered a number there. Now remove the magnet and return the calculator to 0. When you bring the magnet back, the same number as before will appear again because it was memorized by the magnet. We have performed this activity already. This characteristic of magnets is used in credit cards where the magnetic strip of the card holds the sensitive information of our bank details, right? Next characteristic is magnets create magnetic field. What is magnetic field? Magnetic field is a region or area around a magnet in which its magnetic force can be experienced. There is a separate topic of magnetic field given in your books. We will discuss this topic in detail later on in this chapter, right? This magnetic field can be used in magnetic therapy to cure many ailments. Ailments means diseases. This is one of the application of magnets in medical field that it can be used to reduce pain and to cure many ailments by stimulating the flow of blood. You must have seen people wearing magnetic jewelry. Why do people wear magnetic jewelry? We have studied in earlier classes that iron is present in the hemoglobin of blood. Because iron is a magnetic substance, so it is attracted to the magnetic field produced by the magnetic jewelry, and this causes movement within the bloodstream, and the increased activity causes the blood flow to improve. As the blood flow improves, it reduces pain and cure many ailments. Students, let's read the topic for better understanding. Magnetic fields. Magnets create magnetic fields that are both protective and stimulating. How these magnetic fields are protective and stimulating? Because magnetic fields stimulate the blood flow and reduce pain and thus protect us from many diseases. These magnetic fields can be used for many things, and one very popular area of use is magnetic therapy. This is one of the application of magnets in medical field, magnetic therapy, right? Magnetic therapy lets the magnetic fields of magnets interact with the blood of the human body. By stimulating the blood circulation, the person being treated experiences pain relief and cure of many different ailments. Ailments means diseases. This is also what makes magnetic jewelry an option for better health and well-being. Next characteristic is if you split or break a magnet, the broken end acquires opposite pole. That is, you can never separate the poles of a magnet. It means a magnet always have two poles, north pole and south pole. If you cut a bar magnet in half as shown in picture here, then each half becomes its own bar magnet with north and south poles, right? Let's read the topic for better understanding. Magnets will always have two poles, and even if you split a magnet into two, you can't get rid of this characteristic. The smaller piece will have two poles and this will continue no matter how many splits you make. There are magnets where the poles are set to the same side, but these still include two poles, as shown in the picture here. For magnetic therapy and healing purposes, the permanent magnets with two opposite poles are to recommend since they are the most effective. Right? In magnetic therapy, which type of magnets are recommended? permanent magnets with two opposite poles. Students, you must be able to answer all these questions. First, write one application of magnets in the medical field. Next, why is a magnetic strip used in credit cards? Next question, define magnetic force. And the last question is, write down the various characteristics of a magnet. Note down these questions and revise them properly. Thank you.